Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Trina Dottu, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, JIS College of Engineering. Today, I will tell about ecology and ecosystem. And in my personal details, my mobile number is given. So if you have any doubt, so you can communicate either my mobile number or my email ID. And the most important part, that is the course page. My course page is given here. So if you join the course page by this code, subject code is also given, then you can access the entire study material. And not only the study material, I have uploaded the different assignments, the probable questions, all the semester questions, and solve problems. So you can access anytime, anywhere. The subject name is Environmental Science, subject code MC301 for odd semester, MC401 for even semester. This course is for undergraduate BTech students. The streams are CSE, IT, Civil, Mechanical, and BME. So by this course, student will be able to understand the natural environment and its relationships with human activities. They will be able to apply the fundamental knowledge of science and engineering to assess environmental and health risk. They will be able to understand environmental laws and regulations to develop guidelines and produce and procedures for health and safety issues. They will be able to solve scientific problem solving related to air, water, noise, and land pollution. So as a future citizen, students will take the responsibility to protect our Mother Earth. They will acquire skill for scientific problem solving related to air, water, noise, and land pollution. So here, the entire syllabus is given. And today I will start the ecology and ecosystem. It is under general part. So elements of ecology, definition of ecosystem, components, types, function, etc. After that also you will learn different section like air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, noise pollution, etc. And the reference books are given here. So you can take it. This is available in our library. So you can avail these books also. So I personally prefer the Gaur Krishna Das Mahapatra. That also you can take from the library. The lesson plan is given. The day-wise plan to teach the students, the cover the syllabus, it is given here. So our topic is ecology and ecosystem. So today, this is the 2 lectures. So today I will cover the half of this. So ecology and ecosystem. This part. So there are elements of ecology, definition of ecosystem, components, types, and function. food chain, food web, structure and function of different ecosystem like forest ecosystem, grassland ecosystem, desert ecosystem, and aquatic ecosystem. So now, first thing is what is ecology and what is ecosystem? What is the definition? So ecology is a branch of science that deals with the interrelationship between biotic and abiotic components of nature, as well as with the relationship among the individuals, populations, and community of the biotic components. So biotic means the living organism. Living organism means the all plants, all animals, human beings, all are the living organism. And abiotic, abiotic means the non-living components of nature. So it is the ecology means it is a branch of the science that deals with interrelationship between biotic and abiotic components. So you know that there is the interrelationship because we depend on the different abiotic components like say air, water, land, etc. So there is a interrelationship between biotic and abiotic components. So that is among the then what you will say as a definition that ecology is a branch of science that deals with interrelationship between biotic and abiotic components of nature, as well as with the relationship among the individuals, population, and community of the biotic components. So there is also interrelationship between the biotic components and the populations, so that also affect the ecosystem and their balance. And what is ecosystem? An ecosystem is the combination of an area's abiotic and biotic factors. So it can be visualized as a functional unit of nature where living organisms interact among themselves and also with the surroundings physical environment. Okay, so ecosystem also is the combination of biotic and abiotic factors. So you have understood that biotic means living organism and abiotic means non-living elements. So there is a combination, there is a interrelationship. So that is called ecosystem. So you have learned very well that two part. One is ecology, another is ecosystem. So now the components of ecosystem. So components of ecosystem, one component I told that is the abiotic components, another is biotic components. So in the abiotic part, abiotic means living or non-living, what I told. Abiotic means what? Abiotic means non-living. Just keep in mind, abiotic means non-living, biotic means living. So in abiotic components, there are physical factors. Physical factors mean temperature, humidity, light, atmospheric pressure. So all these physical parameters. And inorganic substances, which are not organic, water, oxygen, carbon dioxide. So all these are inorganic substances. Organic substances, organic like protein, carbohydrate, lipid. So these are the organic substances. Now, in the biotic components, there are three parts. One is producer, mainly the green plants, consumer, and decomposer. So these are the main components of ecosystem. Next is the different types of ecosystem, the classification of ecosystem. So in the classification of ecosystem, there are two types, natural ecosystem and artificial ecosystem. Artificial, or you can say the man-made ecosystem. So natural ecosystem, these operate under natural condition without any major interference by human being. So it is also of two types. One is terrestrial ecosystem, another is aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial mean the land-based ecosystem. Okay, here you can see the flow chart that the natural ecosystem and man-made ecosystem. So terrestrial, what I was telling, that terrestrial means the land-based ecosystem. It may be like grassland ecosystem, forest ecosystem, the ecosystem which are present in the forest, desert ecosystem, and in the aquatic ecosystem, this is also of two types, like freshwater ecosystem and marine water ecosystem. So freshwater ecosystem also is of two types, running water ecosystem and standing water ecosystem. And classification of ecosystem, I told that is the two types, natural and man-made. So man-made means where there is the interference of the human being, that means man-made, human being, made by human being, that is like aquarium, which we maintain in our home, garden, housing complexes, croplands of rice, wheat, etc. So these are the man-made ecosystem. So you are clear about the classification of ecosystem. Now, I will tell in detail about the structure of ecosystem. So in the structure of ecosystem, main part I told you that biotic and abiotic. So in abiotic part, we get soil, water, light, inorganic nutrients, and weather. And the biotic part, we get producer, consumer, and decomposer. So we have learned the components of ecosystem. So this part you will learn elaborately, like with the example. When you tell the structure of any ecosystem, like say forest ecosystem or grassland ecosystem, so you have to specifically mention the name of the producer, name of the consumer. Like as for example, say you are telling about the forest ecosystem. So you can mention tiger. But when you will tell about the grassland ecosystem, you cannot mention about the tiger. So these things you have to keep in mind when you will describe the structure of ecosystem. So in the structure of ecosystem, you have learned that there is the biotic components of ecosystem. What are the parts? First is producer. Okay, so producer means which can produce their food themselves. We human beings cannot produce our foods. We depend on green plants. So they are called the producer, the first trophic level. They are called autotrophs, organisms that capture solar energy for photosynthesis to produce sugars. So what are the autotrophs? Like green plants, cyanobacteria, blue-green algae, chemosynthetic bacteria use geothermal energy in hot springs or deep sea vents to produce their food. So all they are the autotrophs or producer. They can produce their food. So these are the first trophic level. So next, what is? So first we got the producer, that is the autotrophs. So they are the sources of all food and they can do the photosynthesis. Next level is the consumer. So consumer they are called like heterotrophs. Aerobic respiration they do and also anaerobic respiration. So there are different levels of consumer. So organism that consume producer, they are called the consumer. Now first is the primary consumer. It is the second trophic level. So organism that consume producer directly, like say the deer or say cow, they directly consume the green plants. So they are the first level consumer. So they are second trophic level. So organisms that consume producer. Herbivores consume plants. So what are the examples? Examples are, you can give lots of examples. I have given few like deer, grasshopper. This is the primary level consumer. Secondary consumer, the third trophic level, organisms that prey on primary consumers. Carnivores consume meat. Example like wolves, rodents, etc. These are the secondary consumer. Next is tertiary consumer. Tertiary consumer, that is the fourth trophic level. Predators at the highest trophic level consume secondary consumer. That means they depend on the secondary consumer. They are also carnivores. Example, hawks, owls, etc. Next is omnivores. Omnivores means consume that eat both plants and animals both. That means not only carnivores, not only herbivores, they are the omnivores. They are the flesh eating as well as they eat the green plants. Like human being, we are also the omnivores. Next is the detrivores and decomposers. Organisms that consume non-living organic matter, they are called detrivores or decomposer. Enrich soil or recycle nutrient found in dead organism. How they do this? Because they decompose the all dead plants and dead animals. So after the death of the plants and animals, their body is decomposed and all the that means soil nutrient like say nitrate, phosphate, sulfate, all this comes into the soil. In this way, thus it enrich the soil. So detrivores scavenge waste products or dead bodies. Example, millipedes. Decomposers break down leaf litter and other non-living material. Example, fungi, bacteria enhance topsoil and recycle nutrient. So how they work? They enhance the topsoil and they can recycle the nutrient. Which nutrient? The first consumed by the green plants. Then they are going to different trophic level, like to the different level of consumer. And after their death, again, these nutrients are going to the environment. So in this way, they enhance this recycle the nutrient. So here the detrivores versus decomposers are given. There are different examples are given. They are the decomposers and here are the detrivores. So you have understood the total structure of the ecosystem. So now one by one, you will learn to describe for specific ecosystem. So in the structure, so main what you have learned, that is the abiotic and biotic. So first I will tell about the pond ecosystem. So in pond ecosystem, when you describe, that is the aquatic ecosystem. So ecosystem, I told that is a natural ecosystem is of two types. One is terrestrial ecosystem, the land-based ecosystem, another is aquatic ecosystem. So in the aquatic ecosystem, I will describe the pond ecosystem. So when you will describe the structure of pond ecosystem, so you have to mention the specific producer, then consumer, primary consumer, secondary consumer, and the decomposers. And also you have to mention about the abiotic components in the pond ecosystem. So first the producer, that is the phytoplankton. Producer, phytoplankton. There are small, usually single-celled photosynthetic organisms, also known as algae. These are basis of pond ecosystem. Next is the zooplankton. Zooplankton is the primary consumer, which directly depends on the phytoplankton for their food. So there are other small organisms that live in pond. These are members of animal kingdom. They are suspended in the water column. So examples of zooplankton are water fleas, tadpoles. They consume phytoplankton. Next is larger invertebrate. They are the secondary consumer. Larger invertebrate. So that means they have no bones. What are the examples? Examples are snail, worms, leeches. Insects consume these smaller animals. So they depends on zooplankton for their food. That is why they are the secondary consumer and they remains in the pond. So they are the part of pond ecosystem. Next, the tertiary consumer, that is the vertebrate, those who have the bones. So vertebrates are animals with backbones. In a pond, these might include fish, frog, salamanders, and turtles. So now, if you see a picture about the pond ecosystem, you will be more clear about it. So this is the figure of the pond ecosystem. So here you can see this is the solar radiation. Now these are the phytoplankton. Solar radiation, here it is the phytoplankton which will produce their food by photosynthesis. Then they are consumed. It is shown by this arrow. They are consumed by zooplankton. This is the zooplankton. You can follow this structure, this food chain basically. Now this zooplankton are consumed by omnivores, bottom feeder. Then they are also zooplankton feeder. Then macrophytes feeder, the big fish, small fishes, big fishes. They are the carnivores. So in this way, you can understand that how the food chain is taking place in this ecosystem. And after their death, there is, you can follow that after their death, there is the microbial decomposition. It is written here, the microbial decomposition. Then all the nutrients are coming back to the environment. So this way the nutrients, first nutrients is consumed by the phytoplankton when they produce their food, and ultimately after their death or the excretion and or the autolysis, all the nutrients come back into the water bodies. So this is the part of biotic. Biotic means the living organisms, but also you have to mention when you will describe the structure of pond ecosystem, you have to also mention about the abiotic part, that is the non-living part. And these are also very important, like humus, oxygen in water that is required for respiration of the aquatic life, light which is required for the photosynthesis, heat, it is also required, balance of heat for their life, minerals also they consume when they produce their food. So all this is about the pond ecosystem. So now, if I summarize the pond ecosystem, what you have to tell in the structure part. So the pond ecosystem, you will say that pond is a freshwater aquatic ecosystem. It is a self-sufficient and self-regulating ecosystem. And in the abiotic components, these are the physical components of pond, like say sunlight, water current, heat, gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen, etc. And in the biotic components, there are producer, consumer, and decomposers. So in different example, you have to give the different examples for producer. Producer, these are either microscopic phytoplankton like algae, etc., or microscopic plants like Hydrilla. Consumers, primary consumers, the herbivores like small fish, tadpole, etc., and secondary consumers like carnivores like crabs, frogs, etc. And the tertiary consumer, large fish, turtle, etc. Okay, and for decomposers, there are large amount of bacteria and fungi which decompose the dead plants and dead animals. So if we summarize today's lecture, what you have learned. So you can note down, you have learned number 1, definition of ecology, definition of ecosystem, components of ecosystem, classification of ecosystem, structure of ecosystem, and in the structure you have learned about biotic component, and in the biotic component there are 3 parts like producer, consumer, decomposer, and there are different types of consumer like primary level, secondary level, and tertiary level. And in abiotic components there are physical parameters, organic parameters, and inorganic parameters. So all these things are given in the study material also, and I have given the assignment. So first you go through the lesson, and I have given the code. You join my course, then you go through the study material and submit your assignment. First you create your own lesson and share with my code, then I can do the gradation. Okay, thank you students. So today I am ending the session, and if you have any doubt, you don't hesitate to communicate with me.